What do the Spurs need to do to take this team to the NBA Finals and win the championship? Today, we're going to highlight some key points the Spurs must execute to turn this 62-win season into a parade down the Riverwalk. Let's get into it. The rebuild is dead. Look at the standings. Look at the record. 62 wins, 19 losses, second in the brutal Western Conference. If you told a Spurs fan 2 years ago that the post-Pop era would begin with the most dominant regular season in a decade, they'd have asked what you were smoking. But here we are. The spooky Spurs phase, that's over. This is a heavyweight contender. Under Mitch Johnson, San Antonio has transformed from a developmental project into a defensive meat grinder with a high-octane offense. But the regular season is a different animal than the playoffs. In the postseason, rotations tighten, stars get hunted, and every flaw is magnified. Today, we're breaking down the 4 critical keys the San Antonio Spurs must execute to turn this 62-win season into a parade down the Riverwalk. From the Wemby effect in the half-court to the integration of De'Aaron Fox, this is the blueprint for a Spurs deep playoff run. The Wemby wall and defensive geometry. It starts and ends with the defense. The Spurs finished the season with a 111.1 defensive rating, third in the NBA, and we know why. Victor Wembanyama is the greatest defensive deterrent we've seen since prime Hakeem. He's averaging 3.1 blocks, but his impact is the shots that don't happen. In the playoffs, teams are going to try to pull Victor away from the rim. They'll run high pick and rolls, they'll try to force him to switch onto guards like SGA or Anthony Edwards. This is where the supporting cast becomes the most important factor. Devin Vassell and the sophomore sensation Stephen Castle are the point-of-attack monsters. For a playoff run to succeed, these two have to stay disciplined. If they can fight over screens and stay in front of their man, Victor stays in the paint. When Victor stays in the paint, the Spurs are unbeatable. But watch out for the experience gap. In a Game 7, when the whistles get tighter, can Castle avoid rookie-like mistakes? Can he keep his cool when a vet tries to bait him? The Spurs' defense isn't just about Victor's wingspan, it's about the perimeter guys refusing to let the stars get into the lane in the first place. The De'Aaron Fox integration. The trade for De'Aaron Fox was the all-in move of the 2025-26 season. Before Fox, the Spurs were a great story. After Fox, they became a nightmare. He's averaging 18.5 points and 6.2 assists, providing that veteran closer mentality this young core desperately needed. In the playoffs, the game slows down, transition buckets disappear. You need someone who can break down a set defense and get a bucket at the end of the shot clock. That is De'Aaron Fox's specialty. However, the chemistry between Fox and Stephen Castle is still a work in progress. Fox is a ball-dominant guard, and Castle is a developing playmaker who needs the reps. Coach Mitch Johnson has a massive task, finding the closing lineup. Do you go small with Fox, Vassell, and Castle, or do you keep Harrison Barnes in for the floor spacing? For the Spurs to win it all, Fox doesn't need to be the leading scorer every night. He needs to be the pressure release valve for Victor. When the defense collapses on Victor, Fox is the one who has to punish them. Bench depth and the Keldon factor. You cannot win a title without a bench that can change the momentum of a game. Enter Keldon Johnson. Moving Keldon to the bench was a masterstroke by Mitch Johnson. He's the heart and soul of this team, a 6th Man of the Year candidate who brings big body energy the second he steps on the floor. In a long series, say against a deep team like the Memphis Grizzlies or the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Spurs' second unit could be their secret weapon. Along with Kelly Olynyk's veteran passing and Harrison Ingram's versatile defense, the Spurs have a second unit that doesn't just hold the lead, they extend it. The danger, over-reliance on the starters. Wembanyama's minutes have to be managed. We saw him dominate in the regular season, but 40 minutes of playoff intensity is a different beast. The bench needs to provide 15 to 20 minutes of high-level production so the stars aren't gassed by the fourth quarter of Game 6. The path through the West, OKC and Denver. Finally, let's look at the bracket. To get to the finals, the Spurs likely have to go through the two-headed monster of the West, the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Denver Nuggets. The Thunder are the #1 seed for a reason. They are young, they are fast, and they have Chet Holmgren to challenge Wemby. The Spurs beat them in February, but the playoffs are a chess match. The Spurs' advantage is their size. OKC struggles with elite rebounding teams. Then there's Denver. We just saw them beat the Spurs 136-134 in a thriller. Nikola Jokic is the ultimate Wemby neutralizer. He's too strong for Victor to push around and too smart to be tricked by Victor's length. For the Spurs to beat Denver, they can't let Jokic turn into a playmaker. They have to force him to be a scorer and shut down everyone else. Success in the West comes down to home court advantage. The Frost Bank Center has been a fortress this year, 29-7. If the Spurs can secure that number 2 seed and keep home court through the conference finals, they have a legitimate shot at the trophy. The new dynasty? The 2025-26 Spurs are a team ahead of schedule, but the window is officially open. They have the superstar, they have the veteran leadership, and they have the defensive identity. If Victor Wembanyama stays healthy, if De'Aaron Fox thrives in the clutch, and if Stephen Castle continues to play like the elite player he's showing to be, we might be looking at the start of a new San Antonio dynasty. But what do you guys think? Are the Spurs ready for the bright lights of the Western Conference Finals, or is this young core still 1 year away? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more NBA deep dives, and I'll see you guys in the next one.